everyone. I am going to guide you through a yoga class this afternoon. So if you have 2 blocks, go ahead and grab those. If not, 2 sturdy water bottles or even a textbook, just something that you can kind of elevate your hands on. Definitely bring that along to your practice. And please know that yoga really, there is no right or wrong with yoga, which is kind of a complex concept in today's society, where it's very linear. But I want to just invite you to explore. I'm simply here to offer you postures, theories, concepts. Take with you what feels valuable and relevant and find acceptance in yourself to not include what doesn't feel right in your body and your mind. And that is what yoga is all about. It's about you. So just explore what it is that you need in this moment today. So if you do have a yoga block or even kind of a sweatshirt or something, we'll start seated. We can prop your hips up. If this doesn't feel right for you, feel free to just sit on the floor. It may feel nice to have your back against a wall for some support. Just find a comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. And then once you're there, very traditionally, we'll start with the eyes closed. So if that's comfortable for you, feel free to close the eyes and we'll work with an internal gaze. But it is absolutely a wonderful idea too to keep your eyes open. And we'll start with a drishti. So simply find a focal point in front of you. It may be cast downward, a spot on the floor, or if you have a candle, you can simply gaze into the candle. And just focus your gaze. And by focusing the gaze, we can start to soften the external environment and the distractions that may come with that. And just to center us, start to tune into your breath as you gaze into this one focal point. You can feel the breath rise and fall. You can feel the chest rise and fall with the breath. And with our attention centered around our focal point, we'll start to bring in a bit more of control around the breath. So if it's right for you, elongate your next inhale. Gently open the mouth, exhale it out. And inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose, make it your longest inhale. Seal the lips and exhale through the nose. Continue to breathe fully, feeling the in-breaths entering through the nose. You may feel the spine grow taller and longer. And as you exhale through the nose, keeping that space within the torso, but find a softness around the heads of the shoulders, the hips, the fingers. Your inhale may heighten the awareness of the drishti, the focal point in which we are looking at. But we match that concentration with a softness. As we exhale, we detach ourselves from what it is we are looking at. Continue to find those full body breaths. And find that subtle concentration really allows everything around us to just be. Throughout our class, if you notice the mind starts to wander off the mat into the future, maybe something in the past, I encourage you to come back to this drishti. And although our focal point physically will change, just redirect that internal drishti, that internal gaze towards your heart center. When you're ready, draw the hands together in prayer in front of the heart. Let the chin drop closer to those fingertips, shifting your gaze. And a bowing of the head is symbolic of being grateful or expressing gratitude. So just find something you are grateful for in this moment. And seal that within your heart to serve as inspiration as we move through our yoga practice. With an inhale, reach those arms up overhead, fingertips may part so you can drop the heads of the shoulders into their sockets. And as you exhale, gently twist to the right. Let the left hand fall on the thigh, right fingertips plug into the earth behind you. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, contract the belly subtly and send your gaze over the right shoulder. Every in-breath invites that length within the torso. And that out-breath contracts through the abdomen to find a deeper wringing of the spine. Send the gaze forward first, gently unwind. Sweep those arms up overhead, send the gaze upward again. And as you exhale, twist to the left. Right hand falls on the thigh. Left fingertips plug into the earth behind you. Continue to create space in the body. So it's one thing to land a pose, to find a stretch, but it's another thing to do so mindfully so you can continue to create spaciousness within the physical body as we experience these subtle shifts within our muscles and our bones. And our body can truly teach us, right, to embrace the changes, embrace the releases, the openness. Send the gaze forward, gently unwind. Bring those arms back up overhead. Send your gaze up, big morning stretch. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms, press the arms up overhead. Now redirect the gaze forward. Feel the heads of the shoulders slide down into the sockets and draw the pinkies back. As you draw the pinkies back, notice if the ribs wants to flare. If it does, engage the abs, knit the ribs together, and think about this downward force through the tailbone and upward force through the palms. Breathe deeply into these new cavities that we've created space for in our lungs. And exhale, draw the hands back to prayer in front of the heart. Either roll over the shins or swing those legs around. You'll move the blocks off to the side, coming into tabletop posture. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees. And with an inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, and gaze goes forward and up. As you exhale, reverse that direction by tucking the tailbone, looking towards the belly button and pressing the earth away. Flow with your breath. As the inhale lifts the heart, the exhale contracts the belly. Waiting for your breath to cue the movement to start at the tip of the tailbone. Finding those subtle pauses between every inhale and exhale to find the fullest expression of the physical posture. After your next exhale, settle into a neutral spine. Back is flat, low belly lifts up into the low back. And extend the left leg back behind you. Curl those toes under. Press down into the ball of the foot and shift your weight back subtly. You'll feel a nice stretch through the calf. Feel free to stay here to stay more restorative, or hover that right shin bone off the mat for a bit more engagement through the belly and the shoulders. Continue to draw back through the heel, crown of the head moves forward. Good, release the knee if it's lifted. Pivot on the ball of the foot, plant the arch, and then bow and arrow the left arm to the sky. Press down into the right palm, reach high with the left arm, and then sweep that top arm over your cheek, sending the gaze upward. Start to shift your gaze forward and then down at the mat. Just bring that left palm to the earth. Lift the left heel back off of the mat. Shift your right leg up and back. Big yawn of a stretch called down dog split. Bring the knee back to the earth. Invite the left knee next to the right. This time extend the right leg long. Draw the ball of the foot into the earth. And then kick back through the heel. Crown of the head moves forward. Shoulders down away from the ears. Feel free to stay here to create the length through the Achilles, or hover the left shin, igniting some fire into the belly. the knee is lifted, release it down to the mat, pivot on the ball of the right foot, plant the arch in line with the toes, and then reach that right arm up to the sky, gaze may follow. Press down into the palm and reach up through the fingertips, create lots of space in the wings, and then reach that arm up and over the cheek, gaze may stay up. Unless it's uncomfortable in the neck, just neutralize the gaze. Start to shift your gaze down towards the mat. Bring both palms onto the earth and lift the right heel off of your mat. From here, kick your left leg up towards the sky. Big yawn of a stretch, opening through the backside of the legs. Then release the left knee down to the earth. Right knee to the earth. And then start to shift your weight back. So if it's uncomfortable to sit on your heels here due to your knees, you can always take your prop, wedge it in between your heels and get a little more lift. It's going to open up through the knee cavities. So from here, bring your fingertips onto the mat. And we're going to stretch the wrists in a different direction. So we'll be doing a lot of planks where we're extending through the wrist here, flexing through the wrist. You want to extend the wrist. So you'll flip the left fingertips towards your knees and straighten out that left arm any amount. If this is not enough, you'll shift back into that tabletop and apply more pressure to the top of the palm. But if that is too much, shift back into that seated posture and elongate the left arm from there. Good. Gently release, roll out through the wrist, left fingertips plug into the earth, back of the right hand to the mat, fingertips to the knee, and then straighten out the right arm any amount. And you have the option to slide forward into that tabletop to get a deeper sensation through the wrists. All yoga postures should ignite sensation, but never pain or discomfort. It's teetering on that edge of ease and effort. Good. Release through that wrist, shake it out. With an inhale, lift the hips off the heels, reach those arms up overhead, baby back bend if that's right for you. And then exhale, hands come to the forehead, they come to the heart, back down to the earth. Curl all 10 toes under, lift the knees, high plank. Feel the hips rise a little bit higher than a normal traditional, say, exercise plank. Pull the belly button in, kick back through the heels. Shift your weight forward, big stretch through the wrist, and lower all the way down to your belly. With an inhale, lift the heart, send the gaze forward, hug the elbows in. Exhale to release. 2 more times. Inhale, heart lifts, baby cobra. Exhale, release. In breath, heart lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push back on your hands and your knees. Curl the toes under. As you straighten the legs, the head dips between the upper arm bones. Take a couple moments to pedal out through the ankles. Feel one heel dip as one knee bends, and then reverse that. You may feel it trickle up into your hip creases, maybe a little twist through the spine. And then continue this walking motion until you come all the way to the top of the mat. It might take 5 little steps, it might take 1 giant leap. But once you find your feet at the top of the mat, take an inhale, hands to the front of the body, open up through the chest and the hips, and then exhale, forward fold. If available to you, find the palms onto the earth, or you can always use your textbooks or yoga blocks here and bring the palms to the block. So the block simply is just lifting the mat up to your hands. So inhale, you find length, and exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana, our forward fold. Breathe in the back body. It'll help create some more length through the back of those hamstrings. And then slide the hands up the thighs until the wrists meet the hip creases. Feel a gentle press of the palms into the thighs. Thighs gently push back and elbows hug in. Feel the back of the neck open. Strength of the belly really start to turn on here. Plug down into the 4 corners of the feet. And then reach those arms forward. 1 full breath here. Strength through the low back. And then inhale, rise. Hips press forward, arms reach up, baby back bend. Exhale the hands to heart center. With an inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So hands may slide to the front body or the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Really waking up through the wrist here. This forward fold, bend your knees deeply, belly rest on the thighs. You're going to flip the palms to be face up as we did on our knees. Lift your feet and step onto your palms. If available, the toes can reach the wrist crease. You can use the toes to massage out the wrist here. Find a softness through the shoulders here. Be kind of a lethargic posture. Just allowing gravity to do a lot of the work. Good, release one hand, then the other. Maybe roll out the wrist. Then plant the palms, spread the palms nice and wide. Plug the four corners of the palms into the earth. Step back into plank pose. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Heels drop, head falls between the upper arm bones. Leave the left ball of the foot where it is, but inhale, yawn that right leg back up towards the sky. Bend your knee, roll open the hip, downward facing scorpion. Nice stretch through the inner thighs. Square off the hips, straighten the leg, and then step the right foot between the hands. As you step the right foot between the hands, drop your back knee. Now, if the foot gets stuck halfway up the mat, use those toes or use the hand to walk that foot forward. Grab your prop if you have it, and place your left palm underneath, on top of that block. Top of the left foot on the earth, and then bow and arrow the right arm to the sky. Nice twist through the low back here. Gently release the right hand down to the earth or onto your other block, and then straighten out your front leg. As you straighten out that front leg, walk the hands back to really broaden through the heart space, and then find length through the back of the right knee. Left toes may draw to the face, but if that's too much or your breath starts to shift, soften through the ankle. Lunge forward, walk the hands forward. Curl the back toes under, elevate the knee. Firm up through that left thigh, so lots of strength through here. And walk your hands forward. Shift forward onto the top of that left foot. So you're rolling forward. Find the strength through the right heel to fly the left leg parallel to the earth. 3-point stance. The earth feels a bit far from here. And grab your block. Play around with the height of your prop so you can find that expansion through the upper body, while we can then redirect some more energy and focus around the balancing of the lower body. Start to bend your left knee. Strategically place the left foot next to the right. Take an in-breath, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. Sweep the biceps by your ears and rise all the way up to stand, baby back bend. Hands to the heart center. Take one full breath here. Find that subtle connection to drishti, that focal point, to center our energy and our efforts, our focus. And then inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Little change here. Take your peace fingers, slide in between your big toe and your second toe. Use your thumb, press down on your big toenail to find length. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs any amount. And then exhale, bend the elbows away from one another. Head falls between the arms. So shift your gaze between the legs as opposed to the ground. You'll feel a nice softening and opening, lengthening through the cervical spine here. Deep breath into the back body. You'll feel the ribs massage, that upper mid-back. Gently release the bind. Plug the palms into the earth, bending the knees any amount to step back into downward facing dog. Hips rise high. From here, right foot stays plugged into the earth, left leg to the sky, down dog split. Bend your knee, roll open the hip. Now, as you roll open the hip, make sure you don't collapse into that inner right foot. Stay elevated on the ball of that right foot to stretch open through the leg. Straighten the left leg, square the hips, step the left foot between the hands. Again, if it gets stuck, use the left hand to draw it forward and drop the right knee to the earth. Optional with your block, underneath your right palm, and uncoil the back foot. Inhale, shine the left arm up to the sky and sink forward with the hips as the gaze redirects upward any amount. Gently unwind. Bring the hands to the earth, straightening out your left leg, hurdler stretch. If you find this rounding through the upper back, walk the hands back, broaden through the heart space. Feel the shoulders move down away from the ears. Created so much more space to breathe within the posture. Gentle release as we lunge forward. Curl the back toes under, lift the knee. Find lots of strength in both legs. So ignite the muscles of the left bum, the thigh, and then roll over onto the big toenail side of the right leg and fly off of that back leg. Kick back through the right heel as the left foot plugs into the earth. Crown of the head moves forward. Feel the body expand in all directions here. Draw the knee into the body. Strategically place that right foot next to the left. Take an inhale, square off the hips, the spine, the shoulders, and exhale, forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. Bring those arms by your ears. Push the hips forward, engage the bum, little back bend. Hands come to the heart center. Full cycle of breath. And then inhale, sweep those arms out and up, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the feet back, downward facing dog. Heels drop any amount. Plug the palms into the earth, even the 10 fingertips, and feel the upper arm bones spin away from the ears, creating lots of freedom in the neck. You can even shake the head. Yes, no, maybe. Sweep the right leg back up to the sky. Down dog split. Bend your knee, roll open the hip. Straighten the legs, square off the hip. Step the foot between the hands once again. This time, keep the left knee elevated. And then reach your right arm up to the sky. Twist. You can keep the left palm on the earth, maybe engage the legs more by floating the left fingertips or hand on a block. So we'll reverse this by bringing the right hand down, pivot on the ball of the left foot, and plant the left arch in line with the right heel. Sweep the left fingertips forward, feel the pelvis drop, and then open up the chest. If this feels really restrictive, grab your block, prop your hand on the block, and notice all that openness that you can experience by simply lifting the torso away from the thigh a bit. So play around with the height. And either neutralize the gaze, think about creating the back of the neck long, or send the gaze up towards the sky. Look down towards the earth. Bring the hands on either side of that right foot. Elevate the left heel. Straighten out that front leg any amount. If this is too much, come back to that hurdler stretch. Okay, this is just amplifying what's going on in that front leg. In either variation, feel the right hip plugging into the socket. Feel the left hip gently press forward, squaring off through the pelvis. Lunge forward, lift the left knee off the ground if it's on the ground. Walk those hands forward and gently fly off of that left foot, coming into 3-point balance. You're welcome to stay here or bring your left hand to the heart. Ooh, maybe right hand to the heart. Finding a true balance on that right foot. And then yogi's choice, hands to the earth first, or continue to challenge that balance. Hug the left knee in towards the body. Strategically place the left foot next to the right. Big sigh of relief, forward fold. Shake out the knees, the head, let go of any tension that's not needed for this next posture, these next sequences. Leave it, let it go. Reach those arms forward, up and back. Yawn open the front body. Hands to prayer in front of the heart. Neutralize the gaze. Come back to that heart space. Come back to that place of gratitude, especially when postures become more difficult or the ego starts to creep into the posture. Right? Yoga is about uniting mind, breath, body, uniting community. It's not about the pose, surprisingly. Inhale, sweep those arms up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back into downward facing dog. Right ball of the foot plugs into the earth, left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, roll open the hip, downward facing scorpion. Square off the hips, straighten the leg. Step the left foot between the hands. Bend into the left knee, hips drop, but notice if the right knee wants to drop. See if you can energize by kicking back through the right heel to firm up through that right thigh. Right fingertips stay on the earth, left arm to the sky. As we twist, notice if the whole body wants to join that party up here. Let the pelvis sink as we expand that left arm up, creating this really open upper body, firm lower body. Reversing the posture, bring both hands down to the earth. Pivot on the ball of the right foot, plant the heel, so right arch is in line with the left heel. Feel free to use your prop. Reach the right arm forward first, then open the front body to the long edge of the mat, side angle. Reach the right arm up and over the cheek, but as you reach up and over, hug the shoulder down away from the cheek. Feel strong engagement in that upper back. Look down towards the earth. Bring the hands to either side of the left foot. Pick up the right heel. Straighten out the legs any amount. And you have the option to drop back to that hurdler stretch or amplify with the knee lifted. And as I spoke on the topic before, that there is no right and wrong with yoga. So it's really tapping into this intuitiveness of your body and an acceptance of your mind of what is my body asking for. And then can I honor it? Can I nurture that request? And then find contentment. It's called santosha. Contentment within that decision, within the physical body, uniting mental body with physical body. Lunge forward. Lift the right knee if it's dropped. Roll over that right big toe, 3-point stance. Plug down into the left foot. As you plug down, you'll feel more engagement through that left hip. And it may invite this opportunity to bring one hand off the earth to the heart, and maybe two. Find your drishti downward. Hands to the earth, or keep the hands where they are. Hug your right knee in towards the body. Strategically plant the right foot next to the left. Exhale, forward fold. Shake the head out. Maybe wiggle through the knees. Arms by the bicep or biceps by the ears. Lift the body. Baby back bend. Hands to the heart center. Take a moment and find that drishti once again. Let that focus for the eyes. Let the mind come to that focus point as well. Allows us to come into this present moment, especially when we start to get into our balancing postures. There's nothing in the past or the future that's going to help us with our balance. It's simply in the present. So start to shift your weight into the left foot. Kick your right heel off the mat and externally rotate the right knee. Slide your arch into your left ankle bone. Know that this is a beautiful place to stay. If you'd like to take it one step further, bring the arch to the calf or help place the arch to the inner thigh. You want to avoid pressing that foot into the knee just for the health of the body, the physical structure. Once you've found your expression of tree, reconnect with the drishti if you've noticed the focus has shifted. The eyes sink heavier into their sockets. Softness around the jaw and the shoulders really sends the energy down to the trunk of the body. Can the mental body find the acceptance of the movement even within this static pose? No rush at all. We'll release the foot, plant it back on the earth, palms forward, Tadasana, mountain pose. Take just a breath or two with both feet plugged into the earth. Feel how rooted that left foot may feel into the mat. When you're ready, shift your weight into that right foot. Bring the hands together, prayer, kick open that left heel and externally rotate. Take this step by step, different side, different story. So the body or mind may tell you one thing, but if we can move slowly and gingerly enough into the posture, we will know where that ease and effort is. We will know where our edge is in this posture. Just as you can feel the left and right palm press equally towards one another. Feel the left foot and the right leg gently pressing equally into one another. When one starts to overcompensate, we'll do what I did at the start of my tree pose. And the body wants to lean towards one side. Release the left foot to the mat. Take a full cycle of breath with both feet rooted into the earth. And inhale, sweep those arms up overhead, baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Take the feet a little bit wider, so almost mat width apart. And then catch your opposite elbow into your opposite hand. You've created this shape for your head just to fall between the upper arm bones here. Either hold in stillness or turn it into ragdoll, swaying side to side, releasing tension. Release the hands to the mat. Then take your time as you come to a seated posture, however you need to do that. Gracefully bring the bum to the earth. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Bring the fingertips back behind you. And then we haven't done too much pec opening, so let's rotate The fingertips slightly wide, so slightly towards the outer edges of the mat. It's going to help open up through the shoulder girdle without too much tension there. Press down into the feet and the palms. Lift the hips, reverse tabletop. So we've been here, but we've just reversed our direction of our body. Press down into the four corners of the feet. You'll feel the hips rise. Find a neutral gaze that feels right for your neck. Then as you start to lower the hips, so before the bum comes to the earth, press down into the palms, try to straighten the legs and slide the hips between the hands. Place the bottom down. Redirection the fingertips to face forward towards the heels. Dandasana, press down into the palms. Lift through the crown of the head. Staff pose, back of the thighs to the earth. A little bit of energy in the belly here, just to ground us. We'll sweep those palms out and up. Keep the length in the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Wherever the hands fall, be it on the mat, the feet, the shins, ground down to help drape the upper body over the lower body. Roll up nice and slow. You'll bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh and kick the left leg a little bit wider. Extend your left arm down the leg any amount, but don't fold forward or crunch into the side body yet. Just find a grounding there. And then match that angle of the left arm with the right arm. Expand from there. Then start to slide the left hand down the leg any amount, keeping the arms locked into this nice wide position. Find your edge. You'll know where your edge is because if your heart starts to close, you've just gone too far. So slide that hand back up the leg. Once you've found the edge, open the heart space and then sweep that right arm by the cheek as we did at the start of our class. Allow for some heaviness through the right sits bones, through the right outer thigh. Cartwheel up. Plant the right palm behind you, left arm to the sky. Feel free to stay here and to stretch the side body, countering here, or lift the hips up off the mat, turning it into just a baby back bend. Release the bum back down to the earth. We'll just change sides, so left foot comes in, right leg goes long. First, slide the right hand, find that edge. So spine is still perpendicular to the earth, but elongating through that right arm. And then left arm matches the angle. Keep that length that we've created in the spine, but start to slide down until you find your edge. Breathe here. Take a big breath into that left lung. You'll feel all the intercostal muscles between the left ribs really spread open. And as you exhale, sweep the left bicep by the cheek. Neutralize your gaze. Good, lift all the way back up. Plant your left palm behind you, right arm to the sky. Stay here or elevate the hips, baby back bend. And release the bum to the earth. Good, we're gonna come back to a seated posture. We're gonna get a little deeper into this twist, okay? So inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right, left hand on the knee, right fingertips back behind you. Okay, I want to just present this. This is a great place to stay if this feels good on your body. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, you'll kick your left leg out in front of you and lift the right knee up towards the belly. Notice how I didn't twist any deeper here, okay? So what I want you to do is now hug your right knee. And you don't want to pull into it, but you want to squeeze the belly a little bit more. And you may find some space as you pull the flesh of the belly away from the thigh to twist deeper and gaze back behind you. Send the gaze forward first. Gently unwind. Let's come back to that cross-legged sit. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Right hand on the knee, left fingertips behind you. Already play around with that flesh of the belly pulling away from what's in front of us. So you're welcome to stay here or kick the right leg out, lift the left knee, pull the flesh of the belly away, hugging onto that left thigh bone. Now, through the strength of the abdomen, engage through the midline, and you may notice a natural, deeper twist to send the gaze back behind you. Release the gaze forward. Unwind, bring the hands back behind you, feet about mat width apart. Windshield wiper your legs left and right, releasing any last bit of tension. So traditionally, we'll close class in Shavasana while lying on our backs. If lying on your back is not comfortable for you, I'll invite you to just slide your sits bones by your baseboard and come back into a comfortable seated posture with your back resting on the wall versus back lying on the ground. If you'd like to close more traditionally, feel free to start to transition onto your back body. Kick your legs out straight, coming into what we call corpse pose. If seated, let the hands just rest gently on the thighs facing downward to help ground us. And if you're on your back, I'll welcome you to close your eyes and focus on that internal drishti. If you'd like to remain upright, we'll keep the gaze open, but either find that candle or envision a candle or just gently shift your gaze down. You'll feel more openness through the back of the skull. Our drishti allows us to focus on one fixed point. You may even start to experience that tunnel-like vision where you're aware of what's around us, but you're able to come back to yourself without the distraction of what's around us. Yoga loosely translates to unite. So we step onto our mats to unite our mind, our body, our breath. We men and women are in service to not only others, but to a collective at large. And you are so worthy of taking these moments throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout any given moment to serve yourself. To come back to your most authentic self, housed within your heart center. Allowing yourself just to soften any attachment we make towards those that we are serving or towards the environment in which we are in. To unite the most important piece. It's ourselves. We can't pour from an empty cup. We'll spend a few more breaths with this focal point or with the eyes drift closed for more traditional meditation. And if you notice the mind starts to drift off into the future, drift off to what's around us, not only coming back to our drishti, but focusing on our breath, just following it as it enters in the body and exits the body. If you have come to a reclined position, gently start to awaken the physical body. Take your time as you mindfully move onto your side body just for one more moment of stillness, but in the fetal position. With as little effort as possible, pressing yourself up to a seated posture to join the rest of us. We'll place the right hand on our heart and the left hand on top. Take a deep, giant breath. Fill the lungs, feel the heart press into the hands. As you exhale, feel free to collapse into your own palms. Make kind of rounding of the shoulders, but feel the support that you can supply to yourself. Our yoga practice allows us to find that trust within ourselves, to support ourselves, to learn how to nurture ourselves, to fill our cups up. And the closer we come back to our whole authentic selves, the better we are to serve those around us, creating this beautiful community of yoga, beautiful community of our military, and a beautiful community of humanity at large. Draw your hands together in prayer. Lift the thumbs between the eyebrows. Bow the head deep, finding gratitude to something greater than ourselves. I bow to you. Namaste. For those of you that are new to yoga, namaste is a close or a greeting that is recognizing the light and love within me, honors the light and love within you. So ultimately we are one. So let's our yoga practice be more important than just our bodies and our postures and our strength and our stretch. Our yoga practice can truly influence the world in which we live in. So I am ever so grateful for you spending a few moments with me. I am so happy that I could supply this class for Catch a Lift. Have a beautiful day.